Hi, everyone. Welcome back to ELS, English Listening and Shadowing. I'm Jess.
And I'm Ray. Today's episode is for a very specific kind of stress, the job hunting kind.
Oh, no. Ray, why do you sound like this is personal?
Because it is extremely personal. Last month, I applied for a marketing position. Great company, great role. I was so excited.
Okay, I like this energy so far.
I wrote a beautiful cover letter, I attached my resume, I clicked send. I felt like a professional adult.
As you should.
Then, 2 days later, I opened my sent folder to check something, and I realized I attached the wrong file.
No.
I sent them a grocery list.
You sent a company your grocery list?
Eggs, rice, and a reminder to call my landlord. That is what they received instead of my resume.
Ray, I'm so sorry, but that is genuinely one of the funniest things I've heard this year.
I did not get an interview.
Shocking.
So today we are talking about job hunting, the whole process, resumes, cover letters, interviews, and yes, double-checking your attachments.
Because job hunting is stressful enough without accidentally emailing someone your shopping list.
Whether you're a student applying for your first internship, a fresh graduate looking for your first job, or a professional thinking about a career change, this episode is for you.
We'll walk through real vocabulary you can actually use on your resume, in an interview, and in everyday conversations about work.
So relax, listen, and repeat after us. This is shadowing practice, so don't just listen quietly, say the words out loud with us.
Let's get into it.
Okay, let's start from the very beginning. Before you even apply, you need to find a job that fits you.
Right, and most people start by browsing job listings or job postings. Those are the announcements companies put out when they have an open position.
I usually check LinkedIn, but there are also dedicated job boards, websites built specifically for job searching.
And when you find something interesting, you look at the job description. That's the part that explains the responsibilities, the required qualifications, and sometimes the salary range.
Qualifications, meaning the skills, education, or experience they expect you to have.
Exactly. Some listings say entry level, which means no previous experience is required, perfect for fresh graduates.
And others might say at least 2 years of experience required, which can feel a little discouraging when you're just starting out.
It can, but don't let that stop you from applying. Companies often adjust their expectations for the right candidate.
Good point. Okay, so you found a job you like. What's next?
You apply, and that usually means submitting a resume and a cover letter.
Let's slow down here because this is where I clearly need help. What exactly is the difference?
A resume, or CV, which stands for curriculum vitae, especially in British English, is a document that summarizes your education, work experience, and skills.
So it's like a professional summary of your whole life.
Basically, yes. Short, clear, and easy to scan.
And the cover letter?
The cover letter is a short letter you write to explain why you're a good fit for this specific job. It's more personal than a resume.
So the resume is here's what I've done, and the cover letter is here's why you should pick me.
Exactly. And a strong cover letter usually mentions something specific about the company, not just generic praise.
Noted. I will never again attach a grocery list to either of them.
Please don't.
Now, once you send your application, what happens?
If the company's interested, they'll reach out to schedule an interview. Sometimes it's a phone screening first, a short call to check basic details before the real interview.
And then the real interview. This is the part that makes everyone nervous.
It really is, but preparation helps a lot. Let's talk about common interview questions.
The classic one, tell me about yourself.
Simple question, surprisingly hard to answer well. The trick is to keep it professional and relevant, your background, your experience, and why you're interested in this role.
Not your whole life story.
Definitely not your entire life story. Another common one is, what are your strengths and weaknesses?
I always panic on the weaknesses question.
A lot of people do. The key is to be honest, but also show self-awareness, mention a real weakness, and then explain how you're working on improving it.
So not my weakness is that I care too much, which everyone says and nobody believes.
Exactly. Interviewers can tell when an answer isn't genuine.
What about why do you want to work here?
For that one, research really matters. Know the company, know the role, and connect your answer to both.
And at the end, they always ask, do you have any questions for us?
Always say yes. Asking a thoughtful question shows genuine interest. You could ask about the team, the company culture, or what success looks like in the role.
Good tip. Now, let's say the interview goes well. What comes after?
It's a good idea to send a follow-up email, a short thank you message after the interview. It shows professionalism and keeps you fresh in their mind.
I always forget to do that.
It only takes a few minutes and it genuinely makes a difference.
And then hopefully be job offer.
Yes, when a company decides to hire you, they send a job offer, sometimes with details about salary, benefits, and start date.
And this is where negotiation comes in, right?
Right. Negotiating your salary means discussing the offer and asking for better terms, maybe a higher salary, more vacation days, or flexible working hours.
A lot of people, especially fresh graduates, feel nervous about negotiating.
It's completely normal to feel that way, but it's also a normal, expected part of the process. Companies expect some negotiation.
And if you accept the offer,
Then you move into onboarding, the process of getting introduced to the company, your team, and your responsibilities during your first days or weeks.
new job, new people, new coffee machine to figure out.
Every office has a mysterious coffee machine. Every single one. Now, let's be honest, not every story ends with a job offer. Sometimes you get rejected.
True, and that's a really important part of this conversation because rejection is incredibly common in job hunting. It doesn't mean you're not good enough.
I once applied to 11 jobs before I got a single interview.
11?
11. It felt endless. But the 12th one worked out.
That's such an important reminder. Job hunting is often a numbers game, and persistence really does matter.
And networking helps too, building professional relationships with people in your field, sometimes through events, LinkedIn, or even friends of friends.
A lot of jobs are found through networking rather than public job postings.
True. My current job actually came from a friend who mentioned an opening at her company.
See? Sometimes the process isn't just resumes and interviews, it's also conversations and connections. Okay, let's slow down for our word tour. Ray, ready to shadow with me?
Ready, let's do it.
First word, resume, or CV in British English, a document that summarizes your education, experience, and skills. I updated my resume before applying for the new position.
My resume needs updating. I haven't touched it in 2 years.
Next, cover letter. A letter explaining why you're a good fit for a specific job. She wrote a strong cover letter tailored to the company.
I always struggle to write a good cover letter.
Next, job posting or job listing, an announcement from a company about an open position. I found this job posting on LinkedIn yesterday.
There's a new job posting for content writer at my dream company.
Next, qualifications, the skills, education, or experience required for a job. Make sure you meet the qualifications before you apply.
My qualifications match the job description perfectly.
Next, entry level, a job that requires little or no previous experience. Perfect for fresh graduates. This is an entry-level position, so no experience is required.
I'm looking for entry-level marketing jobs right now.
Next, phone screening, a short introductory call before the main interview. The recruiter called me for a phone screening first.
The phone screening only took about 15 minutes.
Next, strengths and weaknesses. Positive and negative qualities, often discussed in interviews. Be ready to talk about your strengths and weaknesses.
My biggest weakness is that I overthink emails.
Next, follow-up email, a short message sent after an interview to say thank you. Don't forget to send a follow-up email after your interview.
I sent a follow-up email the same evening.
Next, job offer, a formal proposal from a company offering you the position. I received the job offer this morning.
Congratulations, that's the best kind of email to receive.
Next, negotiate, to discuss and try to improve the terms of an offer, like salary. You can negotiate your salary before accepting.
I negotiated a slightly higher salary and it actually worked.
Next, onboarding, the process of settling into a new job, including training and introductions. My first week was mostly onboarding and paperwork.
My new job onboarded lasted about 3 days.
Next, rejection, not being selected for a position. Getting a rejection doesn't mean you're not good enough.
I've had my share of rejections, but I kept applying.
And last, networking, building professional relationships that can help your career. Networking helped me find my current job.
I want to get better at networking this year.
So today's words are resume, cover letter, job posting, qualifications, entry level, phone screening, strengths and weaknesses, follow-up email, job offer, negotiate, onboarding, rejection, and networking.
All extremely useful and all much more professional than a grocery list.
We are never letting that go.
I accept my fate.
Before we finish, let's give a few quick practical tips for anyone currently job hunting.
Tip 1. Tailor your resume for each job. Don't send the same resume everywhere. Highlight the skills that match the specific role.
Small adjustments make a big difference.
Tip 2. Always double-check your attachments before sending. Speaking from experience.
We had to include that one.
Tip 3. Practice your answers out loud before an interview, not just in your head. It feels different when you actually hear your own voice.
Very true. Tip 4. Prepare at least one question to ask the interviewer. It shows genuine interest.
And tip 5. Don't take rejection personally. It's part of the process, not a reflection of your worth.
Such an important reminder.
So, here's our question for you today. What's the most challenging part of job hunting for you right now? Writing your resume, interviews, waiting for a reply?
Tell us in the comments, in English. Even one sentence is great practice.
The most difficult part of job hunting for me is try finishing that sentence.
And if you've ever had an embarrassing job hunting story, we want to hear it. You are not alone.
Definitely not alone. There is at least one grocery list resume out there in the world.
At least one. If this episode helped you, please like this video, subscribe to ELS, and share it with a friend who's currently job hunting.
They need the encouragement and the reminder to check their attachments.
This was ELS, English Listening and Shadowing, with Jess and Ray.
Update your resume.
Prepare your answers.
And whatever happens,
Keep applying.
keep applying. See you in the next episode.
Bye, everyone, and good luck out there.